What's up, y'all? I'm so excited for today's podcast. I literally start off every podcast with I'm so excited for today's podcast. It's so funny, but sometimes you just get in the habit of that. But I'm excited for today's podcast because today I felt really called to discuss overwhelm. Okay? Overwhelm, overwhelm, overwhelm. We've all been there. I feel overwhelmed. I just feel overwhelmed. And I kind of want to break down what the fuck even is overwhelm and how can we overcome it or at least manage it and understand it better so we can understand ourselves better. Okay? So let's dive in. No matter where you are in your life, you may feel a sense of overwhelm towards certain areas. If you were to scan your life right now, the aspects of your life, and I were to ask you where in your life are you feeling overwhelmed right now, or consistently feeling overwhelmed, or when you try to do it, you feel overwhelmed. Maybe this is with finances, right? You're willfully blind to your expenses because you just feel overwhelmed when you open it up and you sit down and budget, and it feels overwhelming, right? Maybe it's, keeping track of your finances and your expenses and actually having a set financial plan and practicing abundance mindset and all that good stuff. Maybe in your life, you feel overwhelmed within your fitness journey and your health and your fitness and body image and your relationship with food when it comes to healing those aspects or learning about certain things in order to give you the knowledge, you feel overwhelmed. Or maybe when you're consistent with something in your health and fitness or anything in your life for a certain period of time, after a certain period of time, it feels overwhelming. Okay? Maybe you experience this overwhelm in your love life or relationships and dating. Like you just feel overwhelmed or underwhelmed. You know what I mean? Maybe you feel overwhelmed at work with your kids, things just in your life, right? Like maybe just life in general feels overwhelming. And you're not alone, girl. Like running my own business and literally waking up every day and doing it from a place of love and passion and having faith in God, the universe, and co-creating with this higher power, right? It can feel overwhelming sometimes when your fears come up and, you create stories in your mind about this and about that and what if this and what if that, but that is simply fear. It's fear, and fear is lack of faith, lack of belief, right? We've been programmed since such a young age. We've been programmed to prioritize fear. Like you could take a negative thought and a positive thought, and the negative thought will be 10 times more charging and powerful than the positive thought because it's been the pathway in our brain that like our brain is the most used to, right? When we feel overwhelmed in our life, in any area of our life, it's most of the times fear, okay? It can also be other things as well, but right now I really want to focus on fear, and then we'll go into like what else that could look like, because it could literally be as simple of, we'll dive into that now. But overwhelm is fear, guys. It's the fear of what if I try and fail? What if I try and fail? Or what if I do this and I'm not good enough? Or what if I'm not perfect? Or what if I do this and it doesn't go the way that I want it to, right? We're attached to the outcome. We're so fearful and we're trying to stay in control because we're attached to it. Even the fear of what if I try and I succeed? Like, what if I succeed? Like, what if I literally get everything I desire and I ruin it, right? Or I don't know what to do with it. Like that happens, that comes up. And it's so fucking real. And it's okay, right? When the more that we understand it, the more that we can do the work to move forward and like kind of grow and shift from it, right? Overwhelm can also look like a repressed disappointment in yourself for not doing the things you know deep down are in alignment with what you want, but you're just not doing it because of you feels overwhelming. It feels overwhelming for you and you're falling into self-sabotage. Okay? And self-sabotage is basically when you have something that you desire deep down, but a part of you feels uncomfortable either having it, working towards it, or there's like a lack of belief there, a lack of belief in yourself, a lack of self-love. So then you resort to what you're used to doing or what you believe you're going to do, like always, right? Or even if it doesn't serve you, you just fall back to these habits because it's all you've ever known. That's self-sabotage. Basically, you getting in your own way, right? Self-sabotage is fear that manifests in a multitude of ways. It can manifest as procrastination, right? So like putting something off, or you just subconsciously find tasks to do that don't have to get done right fucking now, but out of all the times you're choosing to do these tasks, and it's like prolonging you from going to the gym, or it's prolonging you from, tracking your food, or, making your meal, or it's procrastinating you from facing something or someone or whatever it is. It's actually serving you in a way, because it's serving the part of you that is uncomfortable and fearful, right? Because what if I am consistent and I fail? Or what if I'm consistent and I like achieve what I want? That's like uncomfortable for me on the same pipe, so I'm just gonna procrastinate. And obviously you're not thinking this stuff consciously, guys. Like, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind are a lot of the time speaking two different fucking languages. Okay? So consciously, in your mind, in your conscious mind, you know that you want to get healthy, build, a healthy relationship with food, get fit, build your business, fall in love in a healthy relationship. What self-sabotage also can look like avoidance, right? So like avoiding your problems, which is also procrastination, right? This can also look like numbing, right? Or scrolling. So like you just find yourself scrolling away. Like, you shouldn't be doing it, but like, damn, these TikToks are funny today, right? You're just scrolling away knowingly, like consciously or subconsciously. Just avoiding whatever it is that you have to do to feel better, or you're ignoring, or whatever. It all comes down to escapism. Okay? Escapism. You're escaping the uncomfortable feelings that whatever it is that you're doing or want to do, even if it's good for you, it makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel like triggered, and instead of just feeling triggered and sitting with it and like kind of learning how to overcome it, you just avoid everything altogether, right? And this is nothing to feel bad about, guys. Like, we all fucking do it. We're all human. It's not our fault that we were programmed to believe things in a certain way, but it is your responsibility to unlearn and reprogram your belief systems, okay? So I lost my train of thought earlier, but now I remember. And what I kind of want to go into is, I was talking about earlier how sometimes our conscious mind and our unconscious mind are they're speaking two different languages, right? Now, our subconscious mind, you want to think about as like the deep depths of the ocean, right? It's like the bottom of the sea, like subconscious, hidden underground, like within the depths of your soul, right? Like it's like the basement of your mind, right? This is where all your old memories are stored, and old traumas and little wounds, and everything that you've sponged up from a baby is stored into your subconscious mind. Even things that you're looking at on a daily basis are forming your perceptions, thoughts, ideas, memories, emotions, everything. Okay? Now, our conscious mind would be more related to like the shore, right? It's like what you see when you're at the beach. It's like, okay, like this is our conscious mind, and your daily thoughts, the things that you are aware of, you like, though, that's like the surface of the sea. It's what you can see, it's what's there, the water is in touch with the sand, like we see what's going on here, right? Now, consciously, you may desire something for yourself. Consciously, you know the right things to do in order to get closer to achieving that. Consciously, you know that you shouldn't be feeling XYZ, but like you don't know why you do. You don't know why. You know that you want something, but you're not showing up. You don't know why you know you want something or that you desire something for yourself, but subconsciously you're self-sabotaging. It's because your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are speaking two different languages right now. Your subconscious mind is still repeating old stories, old wounds, old things, and trying to keep you safe with your ego, right? It's just basic psychology, guys. But what happens if we take a second and we take a, we turn off technology, whatever, and we go in and we connect deeper with our subconscious mind through meditation, right? Prayer. This could even be to like your higher power. There's really no fucking like right or wrong way to go about it. All it's about is doing inner work. That's really all it's about. And bringing up to the surface what is going on here. What are we fearful of? Because overwhelm is simply that. Fear. Fear. That's all it is. It's either fear or it's the fact that you have so much going on in your life right now and you're not prioritizing yourself. So you feel like a burnt battery giving out to everybody else and not pouring into yourself. It's either fear or it's, it's a lack of organization in your house because you're overstimulated and you're not, keeping up with yourself, or, it's overwhelmed because, maybe you're struggling with depression. And depression's a whole nother story, guys. Like that is a whole nother thing. Depression and overwhelm, I wouldn't put in the same boxes, especially like, real depression. But overwhelm is fear at the end of the day, right? And it's also, it's fear, and it's also a lack of space within yourself. You're not creating enough space within yourself a lot of the times. So let's say like you're just constantly consuming on TikTok. You're constantly scrolling. Your screen time is like 7 hours and up. You're just like always on social media. You try your best to manage it, but like you just find yourself a lot of the times. You wake up, the first thing you do is go on your phone. You're on your phone throughout the day. You go home, you're on your phone. You don't at least have one day a week where there's no phones or managed consumption. Then you are just continuing to clutter your subconscious mind. You're continuing to clutter the basement that is your mind, right? I like to equate it to trash, right? Building up in your house. It's like, okay, you don't take the trash out for a day, right? We'll equate taking the trash out with like meditating and like creating space in your mind, keeping your environment clean, having a plan, staying organized, the things that give you structure and make you feel like you're in control, right? You're not doing those things. You're kind of just letting your life just kind of like, your physical health is kind of deteriorating. You're really focused on work. Work's really stressful. You're doing whatever, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's probably not, you know what I mean? And I'm going to equate that with letting trash build up. So you're not taking that time to pour back into yourself. If you go to the gym, great. That's a really great first step. But like, I'm talking for real, like connecting with yourself, whether that's journaling or meditation or prayer or breath work or yoga or like doing something that connects you on a deeper level to your body, right? Internally, to your mind, right? Then after a couple of days, you don't take the trash out one day, you don't take the trash out 2 days, you don't take the trash out 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. It starts to stink in the house and you start to get a little irritable, right? It's almost like you just walk in the house and you just feel like, ugh, you know what I mean? That is exactly why you feel the way you feel now. If you ever feel like, ugh, you know what I mean? You know that you haven't really been creating space in your mind. You know what I mean? Like taking time in nature. Like you just haven't been prioritizing clearing your mind, providing structure in your life. Of course you're going to feel overwhelmed, babe. Of course you're going to feel overwhelmed. And that's when we have to have the radical honesty to be like, okay, well, what fucking habits are not working for me? What's a non-negotiable? Okay, I know that when I stay up really late, I don't feel my best. I know when I scroll too long on TikTok, I don't feel my best. I know that when I skip the gym 3 days in a row, I don't feel my best. I know when I don't have meals prepped, I don't feel my best. Like, I know when I drink more than 2 cocktails a weekend, I don't feel my best. Like, what are the things that are not making you feel your best? And cut, I mean, I honestly, I hate like saying cut things out because it's so drastic, but like, be real with yourself and take action towards that, right? Because if you know on the other end that when you're doing these things, when you're taking aligned action, you feel really good, you feel really clear, you feel really happy, you feel really joyful, then what's working right now? What is working for me, right? On the other end of that, going back to how overwhelm is fear, a lot of the times, I'm a nutrition fitness coach, so we'll hear a lot like, I feel overwhelmed. And a lot of times when we sit down with our clients and we ask them more questions, like, what's feeling overwhelming? Oh, well, like just gym and like, just water and life, water and life, you know what I mean? And I got this going on and, I just feel like I'm letting myself down. Boom, bingo. You feel like you're letting yourself down. Why is that? And guys, this is like real dialogue between like me and one of my clients. Like, this is what our conversations sound like. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, because I feel like I'm just not, I feel like I'm not being good enough, or I feel like I'm not perfect. And it makes me feel like if I'm not perfect, or I'm not going to do it right, then I may as well do it at all. So then I just say, fuck it. And I just go on TikTok and then I just eat a bunch of chips. And then next thing I know, it's the weekend and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. Awesome. So you're aware right here, right? Like we're creating awareness around like what's going on. So you said that you're feeling overwhelmed. And you also said that you feel like you're letting yourself down. And you also feel like you're not perfect enough or good enough, which makes you feel not worthy of even trying. Woo! Powerful. So what would it look like if we didn't try to like be perfect, or if we didn't care if we were good enough and we just did the best that we could? Well, it'll feel a lot better, right? Yes. Okay, so what would feel less overwhelming to you? Okay, I think that I got too motivated in the beginning and I wanted to go to the gym 5 days a week, but honestly, I think I can only make it 3 times. Perfect. Let's change your programming to 3 full body days. Beautiful, easy. Like, pat on your back, right? We move on. But a lot of the times, guys, we get so in our heads about what it is that we're overwhelmed about that we're not taking action on it. And because we're not taking action on it, we're thinking about it so much, using all this energy, burning all these calories in our brain through thinking about a problem, that we get so drained that by the time it's time to actually take action for it, we're already tired. We're already burnt. You know what I mean? And you like literally it helps so much to ask yourself those challenging questions and reveal the fear for what it is, which is really just an illusion and a defense mechanism for you feeling like I need to be perfect, or I need to be good enough, or I need to be capable. And if I'm not capable, then I hate myself and all this shit, right? Negative feelings are gifts. Triggers hold gifts. Feeling overwhelmed is a gift, because what it actually is, it's an indicator. It's a compass. It is a indicator of something that is not in alignment with what you truly desire, or what your true authentic soul part of yourself desires, okay? Where in your life are you feeling overwhelmed right now? Like, what's like the first thing that comes up? Like when I say like, where are you feeling overwhelmed? What's the first thing that comes up? Is it finances? Is it your body image and like your health and fitness? Is it, you have a really big decision to make and you don't know what to do and you're overthinking it? Like, where in your life are you feeling overwhelmed? Is it with the kids? Is it with the partner? Like, where are you feeling overwhelmed? And then ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Like thinking about like what that is you're feeling overwhelmed of. What am I afraid of? And this may not resonate with everybody here, and that's okay, but this will be for the people who like it does resonate for. What am I afraid of? And also, what do I need? What do I need right now? Like, guys, don't overthink your intuition. The first thing that comes up is the answer. The first thing that comes up is the answer. The second you start to second guess and overthink it and well, like maybe it's this, maybe it's that, like you're already like messing with your intuition. The first thing that comes up for you, okay? Write these down. You can rewind it if you need to. But what am I afraid of? And what is it that Alexi needs right now? What is it that you need right now? Insert name. What is it that you need right now? What is it that I need right now? Is the first thing that comes to mind structure, a schedule, a routine, discipline? Beautiful. Fucking put it into action or hire someone who can guide you in doing so. I'm going to have to plug. Like, this is literally what we love to do with our girls, because a big part of staying consistent, reducing overwhelm, managing stress is creating structure in your life, whether that's with your nutrition, your fitness, with your work, with, if you're a caretaker, no matter what it is. Creating routines is so important. Is it a lack of organization? Oh, well, then of course that would go to, what we just talked about. Like when I ask you, what do you need? Is it a break? Right? You say, I need a break. Okay. Give yourself that. Like this weekend, take a day, and I encourage you, it may look like a happy hour to you, but like maybe try something else. Like maybe, I don't know whoever, if you're listening to this where you live, because I know some places it's cold. Obviously not everybody has the same nature and climate and all that, but like take some time in nature. Even if it's snowing and it's cold as shit, like just go out, get your nipples cold and hard and like literally just be out there. You know what I mean? Like just breathe in the cold fucking air and like live. You know what I mean? If it's raining, go out in the fucking rain. Fuck it. Like, who cares? Like, just go be in nature. Get out of the house. Get off your freaking phone. Get off technology. Allow your brain to just relax. Go take your kids out. You know what I mean? What does that look like to you? Who's like a good friend that you could call up? Or, like how can you give back to yourself? Can you get like a mani-pedi? Can you have like a spa night? Like, can you do something intimate for yourself? Like, what's something that you can do for you right now? When I ask you, what do you need? What's the first thing that comes up? And take action. A lot of times we don't take action on things because like we don't feel worthy of it deep down. Like we don't feel worthy of whatever benefit that's going to bring. It's like we like the idea of it, but like actually having it, we're not so comfortable with. Interesting, right? That's that self-love piece of like, you don't feel like you're deserving of it, worthy of it. Maybe a part of you just feels like you just don't believe that it's a reality for you. I'm here to tell you that's not the truth. But this is what these conversations are all about, right? So overwhelm is simply fear, guys. It is fear, or it is repressed disappointment in yourself. But most of all, it's an indicator that something is out of alignment here. And you actually are so aware. You know the answers. You have all the answers. Maybe you don't want to admit to the answers a lot of the time. Maybe it makes you feel better to blame someone else or, make an excuse about it. I know I do all the time. Like when my partner calls me out on something, like the first thing that comes out of my mouth is like an excuse, or I flip it back on him and I'm like, well, you're not consistent here and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, girl, but deep down, he's right. Right. And a lot of times our ego just like wants to preserve our pride. And it's like, okay, but I mean, like on the other side of you being radically honest with yourself is change, good change, awesome change, happy change, like amazing change that's going to change your life for the better. I mean, change is change, right? But like, you know what I mean? So I hope this resonated with you guys. And those are some journal prompts I can leave you with. Well, not necessarily journal prompts, but some thoughts. I would love to hear your takeaways. If anything stood out to you, it always just gives me such good feedback to hear from you guys, and it gets me excited, and I just love to hear it. So thanks for being here with me today, and lots of love. Bye.